Liberal Wisconsin Supreme Court Justice rejects GOP call to recuse on redistricting cases. Associate D. Press. The Wisconsin Supreme Court, in a 4-3 vote along partisan lines Friday, agreed to hear a challenge to Republican-drawn legislative maps after a newly elected liberal justice declined to recuse herself. Justice Janet Protasewicz's decision to remain on the case increases the chance that Republicans who control the legislature and drew the maps, may proceed with the unprecedented step of impeaching her. 2 lawsuits challenging the latest maps were filed in the first week after Protasewicz Joe. Below are your comments. She only said what is objectively true. The maps are obviously unfair. States that are 50-50 should never have a party controlling a supermajority in their legislature. In about as purple a state as you can get in the country right now, the Republicans have near super majorities in both houses of the Wisconsin legislature. Of course they gerrymandered to get in that position, but they want the liberal judge to sit out so that they can continue to gerrymander. If they think she has prejudged the cases, how do they know other justices have not as well? Simply because she made comments? Kind of a new version of, don't ask, don't tell. When statewide votes are pretty much 50-50 and the electoral districts split 65/34 and 22/11, saying the electoral districts are rigged is not simply an opinion. It's an inescapable fact. Wisconsin deserves what it gets. They elected Republican Scott Walker for 8 years and he transformed and manipulated the laws there to benefit all Republicans moving forward. The damage needs to be undone at some point. So bring it on. It will be undone, given time, thank God. Next news. New Mexico judge rejects Republican challenge to Democratic-drawn congressional map. Reuters. A New Mexico judge on Friday rejected a Republican challenge to the state's Democratic-drawn congressional lines, improving the odds Democrats will maintain their hold on all 3 of the state's districts in next year's election. The state is one of several in which crucial legal battles over congressional redistricting are still raging 2 years after most states enacted new maps following the once-a-decade U.S. Census. With Democrats only 5 seats short of recapturing a majority. Below are your comments. Some degree of gerrymandering is permissible, probably unavoidable, but we now have the math. Search cracking and packing math. One really nice article by Clive Thompson from 2017, but there are others. To define an actual limit on it, a limit that can be applied to everywhere in a fair and non. The New Mexico Republicans are reacting to these district lines like privileged white people did to affirmative action. Any attempt to establish equality in New Mexico, creating a competitive district instead of a likely Republican one, is seen by them as unfairly benefiting their opposition. So federal judges are approving Democrat-drawn maps but rejecting those drawn by Republicans. Again, two-tier justice system in favor of the WH and Dems. Res.1071 recognizing that allowing illegal immigrants the right to vote devalues the franchise and diminishes the voting power of United States citizens. The Democrats voted against this resolution on September 26, 2018. Please wait a moment. Next news. U.S. lawmakers press White House for tougher enforcement of China chip rules. Reuters. Two senior Republican lawmakers in the U.S. House of Representatives on Friday pressed the Biden administration for tougher enforcement of export controls on sending advanced computing chips and the tools to make them to China. In a letter to National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan, Representatives Michael McCaul and Mike Gall are, respectively, chairman of the House Foreign Affairs Committee and a Select Committee on China, said that new advances by China's top chipmaker show that the ASWIPA. Below are your comments. These guys do not know what they are asking for. They somehow think that decoupling from China is going to solve our problems. Uneducated and uninformed as they are, all they will do is to destroy possibly the only field the U.S. is ahead and totally destroy NVIDIA, Qualcomm, Intel, Apple, and Google. Wiseman once said, "One should stop digging when it is in a deep hole." Our politicians don't realize it yet, just like the USSR. China doesn't need US tech anymore. They are already tough and has already hurt so many big US business within the industry as well as the economy. They are politicians and cannot listen to the top people already entrenched within the US microchip industry. Ha ha ha. Our experts should run for presidency so there is no need to ask Joe to do anything. Next news. Kevin McCarthy strolled out of his former office just to insist to reporters that he's not resigning and will seek re-election in 2024. Not that I wanted to talk to you. Business Insider. Asked about Donald Trump's endorsement of Jim Jordan, the recently deposed House Speaker indicated it'll interest. Only members vote, he said. Below are your comments. It was okay to be strict party voters years ago, when the members of Congress recognized, once elected, their job was to work together for the good of the country. We're far past that now. Listen to what the candidate is saying. You'll never agree 100%. Find what works best for your belief system. Please wait a moment. He was lying when he said he wasn't ever going to seek the speakership again to end this madness. Take back the House in 24. Vote blue. Why is he still in the Speaker's suite? He won't stay. He didn't lose the majority, he lost his leadership position. It's hard to stay in any organization after that kind of humiliation. He's got a lot more work to do, like continuing to want to scour the earth for Hunter's laptop, rail against green M&Ms, and enable perjury Trader Green and low-rent Boozebert. Next news. NJ Attorney General looking into 2018 investigation of crash involving Nadine Menendez. Associated Press. The New Jersey Attorney General's office has opened an inquiry into how local law enforcement handle an investigation into a fatal car crash that involved the then-future wife of U.S. Robert Menendez, according to a law enforcement official familiar with the review. Nadine Menendez had been dating the New Jersey Democrat for just under a year when she hit a man with her car on deck 2018 in the town of Bogotá. Richard Koop, 49, died almost instantly when he was hit while crossing the. Below are your comments. I smell a rat or numerous rats. It's almost like Democrats put the country first. I haven't heard one blame Republicans. Pair of criminals. The police at the crash scene likely didn't know Mr. Koop had been drinking at a local bar. He was so badly injured that he was barely recognizable. This needs a complete investigation. I saw pics of the car. Her saying Koop jumped up on her car? Lots of damage to the windshield. That looked like high speeds. Next news. Mike Pence says House GOP can still govern, despite Chaos Caucus ousting Kevin McCarthy. USA Today. Mike Pence said he was a thorn in GOP leaders' side during as a conservative member of Congress but couldn't have imagined leading such a rebellion. Below are your comments. Pence's fake faith is rendering him permanently blind. He didn't see anything during his 4 years as VP and now he has faith Republicans can do anything. But what they always do. Lie, obstruct and shut down. Let Pence walk far enough blindfolded as he is and he should join the rest of the part. Cults don't govern. Not because they can't, but because they don't care about governing. That's not the reason they are there. And the GOP is a cult more than a political party. Trump did one thing great for America. He installed a self-flusher on the GOP. Ones like Pence who are stuck to the side of the bowl won't survive the scrubbing of the next electee. On cycle. What is he talking about? They could not govern before this. Next news. Kevin McCarthy denies reports he is considering resigning from Congress. NBC News. McCarthy, recently ousted as House Speaker, shot down reports Friday that he was considering leaving Congress before the end of his term. I am not resigning. Below are your comments. Will it take 15 votes? It would be great to see him lose just to see if he would yell the election is rigged. Kevin, thanks for putting the country ahead of yourself. Kevy, don't let the screen door hit you on the @ sent on the way out. Jordan would be a disaster for both Congress and the American people. Next news. Donald Trump drops $500 million lawsuit accusing Michael Cohen of cashing in on fictionalized story. USA Today. Donald Trump dropped his $500 million lawsuit against his former lawyer, Michael Cohen. Below are your comments. What happened to Never Surrender? He is running out of money, especially if he has to pay his own way. Trump files frivolous lawsuits as scare tactics. But when it comes time for him to be deposed in a deposition, he drops them. He is scared to death of being deposed, lol. Please subscribe to my channel. And if you like it, please thumbs up.